Good morning, science kids! How are you today? For this morning, we'll be having another fun and exciting science lesson for Module 1, Week 1 and 2, Quarter 1 in Science 4. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to classify the materials based on the ability to absorb water, float, sink, and undergo decay. So, prepare pens, paper, and self-learning module. This is Teacher Anna saying, believe in yourself, you are braver than you think, more talented than you know, and capable of more than you imagine. Are you excited, kids? So, let's begin.
Examine the two sets of pictures. These materials are commonly found at home and are grouped according to their properties. Can you identify the properties or characteristics by which they will be grouped and classified? What can you say about the pictures in set B? Do you think that all these materials have the ability to absorb water also? If you placed all these materials in water, which materials will have the ability to sink or float in water? Porosity is the property of a material to absorb liquid like water. Porous materials have plenty of spaces or holes called pores where liquid can be quickly absorbed. In set A, you see that towels, tissues, and sponge are good materials that absorb water. The ability of materials to absorb water is due to the presence of loose fibers with lots of pores or holes between the particles that make up the material. Materials like plastic or metal spoons and forks, porcelains, cup, iron nails, aluminum cookwares, and glasses that you use at home do not absorb water or liquid. Hence, they are called non-porous materials. There are no holes or space between their particles. Let's take a look at these pictures. Can you identify which materials have the ability to absorb water, float or sink in water, or will undergo decay? The ability of materials to sink or float in water depends on their density. Density is the amount of mass of an object per unit volume. Water has a density of 1 gram per cubic meter. Take a look at these pictures. What do you think will happen to the styro cup, ship, and metal bell? Will they sink or float in water? Let us discover more about these abilities of materials in the different activities designed for you. For our first activity, you will need this material. First, you will need to prepare a small basin with 3/4 full of water. Next, you will soak each material numbered 1 to 10, one at a time, and test if it will absorb water. Then, you must copy table 1 to write your answer by putting a check mark in column 1. Observe if these materials will float or sink in water. You may pause this video and resume once you're done with the activity. Now, let's check your answers. Did you get it all correct? Let's now proceed with another fun activity. Study the picture of a family having their dinner. Identify at least 3 porous and 5 non-porous materials. Write your answers in the chart given below. You have 30 seconds to answer this activity. Your time starts now. Porous materials are wood table, food or rice, and fish, while the non-porous materials are plastic container, glass, spoon, bottle, fork, and plastic chair. Let's keep on learning. For learning task number 4, identify which material will float or sink in water. Check the column that corresponds to your answer. Let's check. Paper clip and rock will sink, while ball, ship, and feather will float on water. And for our last activity, choose the letter of the correct answer. Which of the following materials will sink in the water? A. Big stones. B. Empty bottle. C. Styrocup, or D. Feather? Letter A. Which stones will sink in the water? Number 2. What kind of materials enable the boats to float in water? A. Wood or bamboo that are denser than water. B. Wood or bamboo that are less dense than water. C. Light metal. D. Plastics that are denser than water. Letter B is the correct answer. For number 3, what properties of materials are common among coins, spoon, and iron? Number 4, which property make these materials sink in water? And number 5, which material will most likely undergo decay? For number 3, A is the correct answer. Coins, spoon, and iron are non-porous materials. Number 4, A is the correct answer. Coins, spoon, and iron are more dense than water, which is why these materials sink in water. And for number 5, leftover foods are most likely to undergo decay. That is all for today's lesson. Thank you for listening.